knowing that the brewer is going to see this, I'm hesitant to say too much.
Beetnik IPA by David Wood. He's made it as a tribute beer. He wanted something that was red, and he wanted it for the Queensland state of origin Maroons, and so he wanted a beer that would match them. So we're not IPA drinkers.
No, gotta say.
But I'm going to be making an IPA soon. So all beers, so let's have a...
All beer is beer. There's beer and then there's beer. There's definitely not a normal colour.
It's definitely not a normal colour.
So what's made it that colour?
We've got 2.5 kg of beetroot in it. Colour's really good. Colour's really distinctive. It's nice. It's a good colour. It's not as clear as I thought it might be, but it's still a very, very nice looking colour. Very hoppy. Smell it. Oh yeah. Yep, it's got a bit of hop in that.
It's just not a brew that I would drink, and that's a personal choice rather than anything else. If I try and put that to the side, it's got a great aroma and it looks good, but the taste for me is just not a beer I drink, and it's a difficult one to describe.
Yeah, very hoppy. Very hoppy.
Yes, I mean, I wouldn't do one I choose. Again, people have their choices, and I'm afraid that this would not be one of mine.
Very, very strong, but not a beer I drink a lot of.
I like it. It's crisp. It's very crisp. I love the smell of the hops. I really like that hoppy smell. It's nice.
I suppose I'm interested in the fascination that Kiwi brewers have with IPA and hops.
We've got some of the world-renowned hops, and Americans with their IPAs, we get a lot of culture from the Americans with their IPAs.
Right.
And if they're getting all their hops they're getting a lot of their hops from us as well.
Well, I know, yes, Nelson obviously is one of the best places to grow hops, and we export a lot of hops to overseas.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's a lot more refreshing than what I thought it would be at that high amount of IBUs. For a very bitter beer, I didn't think it would be that refreshing, but it is actually quite nice and refreshing.
What's the ABV?
It's 75 IBUs and 7.8% alcohol.
So you wouldn't want too many of these?
No. Can't taste the alcohol in it.
No, for a strong beer, it's.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yes, it is. It is a some brews that do have a very high ABV. They actually taste horrible, to be frank.
Yeah.
And this one hasn't got that.
So the alcohol is definitely masked in there with the bitterness. It's actually really well balanced. It's a very professionally made beer. I think this is a beer that David could take to the market very well. It has, out of all the reviews that I've done so far, this beer is the one that's put a tick in everything that we're looking for. You can't, or everything that I'm looking for, you can't. The alcohol doesn't stand out.
Yeah.
It's got an aftertaste in
Yes.
there. It's got all those different notes that you
It
can
does.
start to taste. The colour is maybe one thing that's just letting it down. Not the fact that it's red, but the fact that it's not a crystal clear colour. But
I quite like that, you see, because that reminds me of a decent beer having a bit of cloud.
Yeah.
I love the look of the beer. I like the strangely coloured beer. It's quite cool. So I'll give that a 4 out of 5. Aroma's really good, and I like it. So again, a 4 out of 5. But for me, because, and this is a personal thing, because I'm not a big IPA fan and hoppy fan, it's going to be a 7 out of 10 for taste.
appearance is great. Yeah, it is. It has got a wonderful colour. He's definitely captured the right kind of colour with the beetroot in there. Sort of glows a little bit. It's quite nice. Even though it is a little bit cloudy, I thought it might be nicer, a little bit more crystal clear. It is a very nice even colour. I'd give it a 4 out of 5 for a colour, for appearance. As for the aroma, it's a 5 out of 5. It's definitely a 5 out of 5. Just the hops in there, the smell of the hops is great. I love a beer that you can smell like that. It's intoxicating all by itself. As for the taste, a 9 because it does have a very well balanced taste in it. It has been brewed extremely well. That I can taste the hops, I can taste the bitterness, and then the aftertaste. There's a lot of flavour in it. I can pick out a little bit of caramel notes. So I think this is a very well polished beer. I think definitely a 9 out of 10 for taste.
Well, just like my esteemed colleagues, I love the colour. It's really nice. If I was drinking a pint of this with some friends, they'd look around and say, "That's a very nice pint of beer." So I'll go for 5 for colour. It's perfect. The smell, it doesn't tie with me personally. It reminds me of stale beer in pubs a bit, but there's a hops in it, so I'd have to give it a 3 just for the aroma. Taste is a very, very bitter IPA. It's not to my taste. I would normally want a little bit more balance, a little more caramel or a little more sweetness to the beer to counterpoint the bitterness of it. But all in all, for a beer drinker, it's a good beer. For me personally, I'd only give it a 6 for flavour.
I love the smell of the hops. I really like that hoppy smell. It's nice.
I'm just watching your guys' faces. It's cracking me up because they're just looking at
It's
you,
not a
looking at the
choice,
cup,
yeah,
looking at you, looking at the cup.